treaty, sating the Abiku by sending children into the sulfurous Oruku breach. 200 living redemptors, or sacrifices, per year. I had voided that treaty, offering myself instead as a final redemptor. The Abiku had accepted on one mysterious condition. Before I descended to the Underworld, I had to anoint the rulers of all 12 arid realms, forming a council of my own. They had given me 2 years. If in that time I failed to anoint a council and cast myself into the Oruku breach, the Abiku would raise the continent. No one would be safe then, not even the priests in their lofty temples, or the blue bloods in their gilded fortresses. Enraged, the nobles had plied me with tests. If my ray was fraudulent, my promise to the Abiku could be voided, and the old treaty reinstated. But before hundreds of gaping courtiers, I had walked across hot coals, chugged goblets of pelican oil, and submerged my face in gourds of holy water, all tasks, legend had it, highly lethal to any but a Raybearer. The strongest proof of my legitimacy, however, shimmered in lurid patterns on both my forearms, a living map of the Underworld, marking me as a redemptor. The Abiku would not have accepted my treaty, relinquishing an eternity of child sacrifices for anything less valuable than a Raybearer. To win my soul, the Abiku had made a promise, and a deal made by immortals, once sealed in blood, could not be broken. Dio had begged me not to provoke the nobles further. Just for a while, he had pleaded, I want them to love you, Tar, to see you as I do. Out of guilt for making him worry, I had promised to keep my head down, and I would, really, right after I broke an Imperial traitor out of prison. The late morning sun glowed through Aunt Eleopa's unglazed windows, casting arch-shaped halos on the rainbow floor tiles as I swept through the palace with Kira and Umbali. A song wafted from the courtyards outside. Courtier children chanted with morbid glee, watching as Imperial Guard warriors erected an executioner's platform. When you meet a Gungun, will you have your eyes, oh? Tell me, will you hear him if you have no ears, oh? Dead man, fell like a coconut, round head rolling on a red-hot ground. Prats, Kira Ray spoke soothingly, sensing my anger through our blood bond. I hunched my shoulders. Arits believed that upon death, all souls followed after a Gungun, the first human being, born of Queen Earth and Am the storyteller. A Gungun roamed the underworld beating a drum, leading souls in a parade to the paradise of Kor. Those children were mocking Thaddis, who faced beheading in a matter of hours. The former High Judge of Aritsar had done the unspeakable, an act that until 2 weeks ago many had believed to be impossible. For the first time in 500 years, an anointed one had murdered his own Raybearer, but Thaddis had only acted as my mother's puppet, killing Olugbade in order to save Umbali's life. I had revealed Thaddis and Umbali's relationship to the lady, giving her leverage to force his hand, and so, ultimately, this was all my fault. Besides, Thaddis was mine, like my council siblings and High Priestess Umbali, and Melu, the Alagbato. Even Wu-Wen and Kathleen, my mother's anointed ones, held cherished places in my story. I had pined my whole life for a family. Now that I had cobbled one together, dysfunctional and cursed as it may be, nothing would snatch it from me, not even an imperial execution. I forced my brow to relax. If my plan with Umbali and Kira succeeded, Thaddis would not dance for Egungun anytime soon. Laugh at those children, I told myself. Float.